Wow, this is a guy who's really made a tangible difference in the world. This is about as great a crowd as you could ever hope for at any event. I mean, the quality is fantastic, and we owe the whole event to Myla Reson here. Myla has done all the logistics, as they say, the tables and chairs, and all the food, and she's also a truly great activist. Myla, come on up, please.
This is a very humble man here. If it hadn't been for Harvey's inspiration, I wouldn't have had to work so hard for the past few weeks. I want Lucy Hernandez and Rosa Lopez and Lynn Harvey all to come up. Come on up, all three of you, please, come up. Come up. It's Rosa's birthday, and she's working on her birthday. Come on up here. This is my good friend, Rosa.
Thank you.
Yes. And I want to thank my good friend John Hayes for coming and agreeing to do the streaming, which turned out to be recording, and my friend Charles Andrews. And Fredericks, I always get that wrong, always. I've been getting it wrong for years. And everybody for being here. This is such a very inspirational event. I worked with the farm workers as a volunteer in 1965 and 66. I was in Delano with Cesar and Dolores. Thank you, thank you, thank you. At any rate, you know, I've been an activist for my life, my whole life, I guess, and I've worked on many, many issues. And it's inspiration. There have been so many wonderful speakers. I feel humble here as one, but what I'd like to, I guess I can talk about two things. One of the campaigns that I've been working on is that the city of Los Angeles and the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, 3 months after the meltdown at 3 Mile Island, where Libby Halepe happened to be, the city of Los Angeles decided to throw in to finance the largest nuclear power plant in the United States. If it had not been for the city of Los Angeles and the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, the Palo Verde nuclear power plant in Arizona would never have been built. It is the largest nuclear power plant in the United States. It is the only nuclear power plant in the United States that is not situated by a body of water, not by a river, not by an ocean, not by a lake, because water is essential to keep atomic reactors from melting down. So what did they use? They used repurposed municipal wastewater that is aggregated from the entire state of Arizona. And they evaporate 27,000 gallons of water every minute of every day to keep those 3 enormous reactors from melting down. And this is in the desert. This is in a state where the aquifer is almost entirely depleted. But the water comes from the Colorado River and then is used in municipalities throughout the state of Arizona. And the city of Los Angeles is an owner in that nuclear power plant. The power from the nuclear power, the Palo Verde nuclear power plant travels by transmission lines from Arizona to Southern California to various places in Southern California. At least half of that electricity is lost in transmission. So one of the projects that I'm hoping that will at least be on your radar is that the city of Los Angeles has to divest. It has to divest from the Palo Verde nuclear power plant. And you know, there's a lot more that I can talk about, but it's late and I'm amazed that you all have stayed as long as you have. So I'm gonna cut it off at this point. And, and what, Where can we, well, that's a good question, because I don't have a website about it. I'm sorry, Charles, I don't. Palo Verde, it means in Spanish, palo is stick, and verde is green. So it literally means green stick, and it has to do with a kind of plant, which is called Palo Verde. It's the Palo Verde nuclear power plant, and I want you to, when people are running for office, for city office in Los Angeles, city councilors, people who are running for mayor, ask them about divesting from Palo Verde. Thank you very much.
Fantastic, Myla. Thank you so much. Sure, come, Sara. Then we're going to have Ankur and then Peter, okay? And then Joel Segal is going to wrap us up. Okay. Joel Segal is going to circumcise the event. So, okay, go.
I just wanted to say something exciting. The National Organization for Women is endorsing the bill, and so is the PDA. So this is really exciting. If anyone is interested in their organization endorsing, I have some material here. I'd be happy to give it to you. How to find the bill, see all the things, and endorse right online.
Hey, thank you. That's fantastic. Ankur Patel, come on up, and then Peter Mathews. And if you wanted a minute, come on up. Ankur ran for Congress, and then Peter Mathews will come up, and then Joel Segal is going to wrap us up. This has been a phenomenal event, my God. So come on down, and here we go.
You are not alone. You are not alone in taking in this energy and appreciating the atmosphere and the ambiance. You are not alone. You're not alone in the struggle. You're not alone as an activist. You are not alone in having too many commitments, spread thin, and things falling through your fingers, showing up late. You are not alone. We are not alone. We got a movement. So which side are you on? Are you on the side of war and the military-industrial complex? Or are you on the side of peace? Are you on the side of the oil companies and the polluters that are destroying our planet for short-term profit? Or are you on the side of clean water, clean air, and clean energy for our 7 generations into the future? Are you on the side of the pharmaceutical companies and the hospital industrial complex, or whatever you want to call it, that are killing people and making profit? Or are you on the side of universal single health care for all? Now is the time. Now is the time to find a candidate to support and go all in. Now is the time to put your boots on the ground. Now is the time to show up. Now is the time. That is my time.
Fantastic. Peter, come on up. Peter! And then Joel Segal is going to wrap us up. And he's got a great special guest here. Go ahead. Speaking of a candidate.
Thank you, folks, for sticking around. Peter Mathews, I'm running for Congress in the 42nd District in Long Beach and Southeast L.A. I'd like to quote Frederick Douglass. He said, power concedes nothing without a demand. Power concedes nothing without a demand. Now, we've all been demanding for a long time, am I right? The corporate-sponsored politicians give us clean air, give us the Green New Deal. We want them to provide universal health care, Medicare for all. We want them to provide tuition-free college from preschool to university medical school. We've been demanding a long time. What has happened? Most of them have been bought and paid for by the corporate lobbyists, and they don't respond to us. Isn't it time that we get our own people elected without corporate money? I'm one of them. I'm a progressive Democrat of America, with you all the way, with no corporate money. I rely on your support in order to make this happen. So, you know, if you look at 20% of our children go to bed hungry sometime during the month. In this wealthy country in the world, 20% of our children go to bed hungry sometime during the month. Let that sink in. 43% of American families cannot even afford a small $400 repair bill for their car. 40% are living at the poverty level or below. This is not right. It's not justice, it's not fair, it's not spiritual accomplishment, not the American dream. The book I wrote was Dollar Democracy on Steroids, with liberty and justice for some, how to reclaim the middle class dream for all, because it belongs to everyone in the world, not just here. I'm an internationalist who believes American nation should be one of justice and peace and harmony, and when we go out around the world, we should support the people that are struggling for justice, not the military-industrial complex, not to sell more weapons and wars. My last chapter is waste, fraud, and abuse. in the military-industrial congressional complex, which President Eisenhower first labeled it, by the way. Eisenhower first, in his draft speech, he said, military-industrial congressional complex. His brother said, Mr. President, why did you take out congressional? He said, my God, I'm already taking on the military and the corporations. You want me to take out Congress also right now? Let me do one thing at a time, or two things at a time. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you with that. It's a long time, it's been a long day. Please go to petermatthewsforcongress.org. I'd love to have your support. PDA and everyone else here, I love all the progressives here. Take care, I'm with you. God bless you.
All right, great. Send this man to Congress. Okay, we have a really quick surprise visitor, and then Joel's going to wrap us up. Lindy, come on up. Lindy is from Tim Robbins' Actors Gang down in Culver City. Something you really got to see. Lindy, so great to have you with us. Go.
Thank you, Harvey. Thank you, Joel. I wish I could have got here earlier. We did a matinee out in Culver City. I don't know if you guys have heard of our little theater company called the Actors Gang, but yeah, thanks. We're doing a play right now just about corporate greed, and it's called Can't Pay, Don't Pay, and it's about these women who decide to just take everything from the grocery store for free because they're tired of paying expensive prices for the groceries. So it's really funny and it's a lot of fun, but I just am so happy to be here and just hear everybody speak. I wish I could have been here earlier to hear everybody's voices, and I just think all of us coming together with art, theater, politics, like we just have to all unite it all together and be there as one. So I'm so honored to be here, and thank you guys so much. Thanks, Joel.
Okay, we're at the end here. What a great group, what a great event. Jan and Jerry, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. This is such a high quality group of people. Couldn't be better. Thank you, Eileen, for all your great work. And all you speakers, and Mena, how fabulous that you came. So many people, Danny and Sara and Tatanka and all of you. Joel, you want to say a closing bracha here?
You must be Jewish, dude.
No.
I broke my arm. I don't know who did it.
I was born a Jew, but when it comes to religion, I'm just kind of Jew-ish. So.
Well, no, you're Jewish and Buddhist, which makes you a Boo Jew, which is what I am. I met Lindy. I was actually going to meet Harvey for the first time, and I'm on the plane, and Lindy was there, and she started showing me a board. Was this Impeach Trump board game?
It was called Disgrace to the White House.
So I didn't know she worked for Tim Robbins, and we just started hanging out and got to know each other. But just, thank you so much for coming. So just 3 things. One, what about if we do this once a year?
On Oscar Day.
Because what happens, we got like some of the greatest organizers in the nation and the history of the country, like right here. Everybody's sort of humble and cool, but we got like Tatanka Brook. He's a freaking legend, man. He's a legend. Tatanka, yeah. John Brakey, literally one of the founders of election protection. We got, people, Men, I mean, there's just like all this, incredible energy, but we should do it once a year. One thing Congressman Conner used to always say is, hey man, Segal, let's do a follow-up action. Follow-up, and let's just do this once a year. So, amen, are we cool? Amen. All right, number 2, this is really exciting. This is why GREEP is so important. We're talking about doing a concert on climate change in Los Angeles in support of the Green Initiative and stopping climate change before it's too late globally too. What do you think of the idea of a concert? Oh, wait a second, I forgot. Didn't you do the No Nukes concert?
That was a while ago.
And didn't I do the thing with Bono? Remember that little thing I did with Bono? On Global Aid, so let's do it again. So I work, how many people here think that everyone should have housing as a human right? Okay, all right. So this campaign that we've launched is the National Coalition for the Homeless out of Washington, D.C. I'm the director of the campaign. It's called Bring America Home Now campaign. So we're going to be introducing some of the most progressive federal legislation, ever to end homelessness. And I'm just going to tell you why I'm working on it, and then I'm going to get off the stage here, and we can go eat. What are you having, pizzas or something?
Yeah, well, there's food. Or there was food. I don't know. I haven't checked.
Homemade matzo ball soup. All right.
You got it.
So when I used to run homeless, first of all, when I was 30, I was the director of the Chinese democracy movement right out of law school. Got really lucky. And I had major surgery for sleep apnea, and I couldn't work. So I came home, and I got evicted. All my stuff was on the street. So I was homeless for 4 years because I don't have a father. He died when I was a kid. My mother's very poor. So I was homeless for,
Talk about your campaign.
Oh, well, yeah. So I'm lucky because I had people who, helped me out. Well, what if you don't have that help? You end up in what? A homeless shelter. So I ran homeless shelters for many years, and they're minimum security prisons. Nobody should even be, right? Yeah. Nobody should even be in a shelter. I love dogs and everything, right? But you could put a dog in a shelter, they might survive, but you don't put a human being in there. But I ran a shelter where there'd be 120 black men, 30-degree weather, outside, and I noticed they were coming in with hard hats and tools. I'm like, this priest told me that these people were, incorrigible, and he was lying to me. But they would clutch Bibles to their chest, and I heard them crying at night. And then I've run homeless shelters, and I've worked with this population, and a lot of the women who are teenagers get assaulted in shelters. Don't you think people should have an apartment, not a shelter? So the campaign is to end homelessness once and for all. And if you go to nationalcoalitionforthehomeless.org, if you want to be a part of the campaign, but we're going to launch in Los Angeles with Susie Shannon.
All right.
But I think the epicenter of the movement could be Atlanta. I know you're saying, oh, Joel's going to call me. Or Los Angeles. And I'll be coming out here again because we're going to end it. And it's a very difficult campaign because people are making money off, I call them poverty pimps. Yes. They're making money, yes, they are. They're making money off these shelters and because they're not in a shelter, they're in the suburbs somewhere, all right? But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say is we're gonna end homelessness. I'm honored to be here. I wanna thank Eileen. Hey, Eileen, man, that's right. But I wanna thank this guy right here.
No.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Modest, come on. He's my brother, man, but this Grassroots Election Protection Coalition is keeping us all together, progressives. We gotta get out of these silos. We gotta get Peter. We gotta get you in the Congress, man. But thanks for coming out. Thanks for your contributions. But we're gonna be working on climate change as well as election protection.
And
right?
homelessness. No nukes, everybody. Okay. Thank you. Aho. Couldn't have been better. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Peace.
Thank you, all right, man. We'll see each other again. And Joel, you get the Oscar.
Oscar Mayer baloney.
Once again, go to laprogressive.com, put Charles Fredericks in the search field, Fredricks. And there's 2 columns on Ukraine and several others on race and racism and so on. Check it out. I think you'll like it.